Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Amanda Tennant, a naturopath and a physical therapist, and I've specialized in Pilates for fitness and rehab for about 20 years now. So today I have a lovely little core-focused Pilates mat routine for you. We're gonna get our central belly muscles, we're gonna get our obliques, we're gonna do a little bit of back strengthening, a little bit of stretching. It's gonna just kind of hit everything, be a core focus, but a quick routine. So all you need is your mat and some comfortable clothes, and we're gonna get started. So let's begin seated. We'll have the knees bent and the feet planted firmly into the ground. Bring the hands behind the thighs and go ahead and press and use them to start to draw you as tall as you possibly can become without hiking up the shoulders or lifting the chin. So the height is coming from the back crown of the head, which is called Axial Elongation. Draw the navel to spine, and then we're slowly going to start to round down and back to the mat, articulating through the spine, coming slowly, continue to breathe, use your hands as needed, and then just settle in and readjust if you need to. Get yourself centered in your mat, nice and comfortable. So again, the feet are still planted hip distance apart, and we're gonna begin by rocking the pelvis. So imagining you had a little marble sitting on the center of the pelvis. As you breathe in, you're going to arch the spine away from the mat so that the marble would roll towards your feet. And as you breathe out, you'll flatten and imprint your low spine into the mat so the marble rolls towards your head. And you're just going to begin to coordinate that movement with your breath. Inhaling to the feet and exhaling towards the head. I do want you to go as far as you comfortably can go in each direction. So this should be completely pain-free, and we are not lifting up like a bridge. We are staying down into the mat, just beginning to loosen and warm up through the low back, through the pelvis, through the sacrum area. If you have SI issues, this can be really nice just to start to release some tension. I also want you to try to draw the navel in towards the spine. So we begin to engage the belly through the entire movement. Just a couple more rocks here. Hopefully you are opening and releasing. You can maybe go a little bit further and increase your range. Again, pain-free. We're gonna come into our Pilates Neutral. So it should be about your midway point there. Nice and flat on top and some space underneath the low spine. We're gonna walk the feet, thighs, knees, everything together in center so they're glued together. And without letting the pelvis shift or rock or move, we're gonna breathe in and lift both legs up to about a 90-degree angle. Exhale to gently and softly touch the toes down. They just lightly tap down. Inhale back up. I want you to imagine, and not just imagine, actually do this. You're going to lift and lower your legs from your belly. This should not be pushing and pulling from your leg muscles. That's gonna make this super, super easy. We want the core engaged. If you need more work, gently take the feet out into a longer arc so they tap down lightly further away from your body. So we exhale down and inhale back up. Just a couple more here. Start to wake up those low, deep abdominals. You should never have back pain through anything that we do. You should be nice and protected. Go ahead and rise up through the legs, 90-degree angle, and hold here. We're gonna take the arms. They could be on kind of like a V shape or out to a T, palms facing down so they can press down into the mat to help support you. And we're gonna start to drop the knees to one side, but not all the way. We are not rolling over and collapsing. I want you to hover a couple of inches above the ground. It's okay if the opposite shoulder and chest lift up a little bit, just keep your hand planted. Now, my legs have dropped to the left, which means the right side of my belly and side will inhale the legs back up. I want you to use the opposite side of your belly muscles to lower and lift the legs. Again, if we are just dropping and raising the legs from side to side like a pendulum or just swinging them around with momentum, this is going to be nothing, and you potentially could hurt yourself if you're not used to twisting through your spine. We want this really intentional and very purposeful movement. So controlling from the core muscles, exhaling to hover down, inhale to pull it up. Keep going just with your breath. There's no rush with this. Take your time and make the work happen from the proper muscles. That's going to get you stronger through your core in the most effective and efficient way possible while preventing injury. So last time to each side, make sure that you feel even. So you have the same number of repetitions to each side. Then we'll bring the knees up and simply draw them into your chest for a stretch. And you can pull them in nice and tight and parallel, or you can open and split them and pull them towards your shoulders. Whatever feels like you're getting a better stretch is absolutely fine. Go ahead and soften the tummy, relax the face, and just take a few breaths here. You're going to inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose or mouth. Inhaling through the nose, exhale through nose or mouth. One more breath. And we're going to continue to stretch, but we will keep the right leg drawn into the chest as you stretch the left leg out in front of you. So this time I do want you to take care to pull the knee in nice and parallel towards the chest. You may get a stretch in the leg that's being pulled in, but you might also feel it in the straight leg through the front of the hip, through the hip flexors. Just hold here. So with my right knee into my chest, I'm going to grab it with my left hand and pull it across the body. So now I am rolling and rotating over, and I want you to anchor and ground the knee down. Use your hand on top to hold that leg into the ground, and then start to unfold. Stretch the arm behind you. My shoulder does not reach the mat. I am several inches above. That's okay. Just let it be heavy. Try to keep that leg anchored. Again, please keep this pain-free. Draw the belly into the spine to help protect you here. Okay, so even though we're in this nice long twisted position, we're going to use the belly to lift us. So the right side of my belly is going to inhale back up, bring both knees in, little stretch, and now switch sides. So we have one leg pulling into the chest, the other leg extends out, nice and long. We draw the chin down and in, so the back of the neck is long, tummy tight. And then we're going to take this into a rotational stretch again. This is going to prepare us for some oblique work we'll do in just a moment. So first, anchor that leg down, ground it with your hand, and then start to reach back, palm facing open. You can gaze over the shoulder, but if that is just too much and too intense, you can release the head or even look up towards the ceiling. Will be a little bit less of a twist on the spine. And then again, we're going to use this side to inhale, pull the legs back up, stretch them in one last time. Okay, we're going to set the feet back down, hip distance apart, find our neutral. We're going to go into a set of crunches. These are going to be Pilates crunches. That means they're going to be small, they're going to be controlled, and we're going to stay neutral. I want you to stack the palm of one hand behind the other and gently cradle underneath your skull, right underneath the occiput. We are not going to let our elbows come in or crank on the neck. I want you to lift from the tummy. So with an exhale, we're going to slide these bottom ribs towards the hip bones without flattening the back, tummy pulled in, pelvic floor lifted. Inhale to either rest down, or for more challenge, you'll just hover above the mat. So my hands are here to support my head, but they are not pulling and cranking. I am not lifting up by pulling on the head. I'm using my abdominals. Exhale, a big exhale to come up. Get the air out of the body, nice deep belly contraction. Inhale down. 5 more. Last 3, elbows stay wide. Pelvis is neutral. Your back is not flat. Last time. Now, we're going to bring both legs up like our piston, like we started in class. Glue them together and let them both drop over to that first side you were stretching. Again, we're gonna anchor the legs down and try to twist the upper body back to center. So we're gonna crunch, and I want you to imagine that you're crunching just like the last set. I'm on a diagonal. I'm not gonna come perfectly square up, but I'm gonna pretend like I am, and I want you to do the same. So hands come behind the head. We're going to exhale, crunch as if you're crunching with the shoulders squared off towards the ceiling and the wall in front of you, so that you can get a little bit of an oblique crunch here. Try to keep the legs down. If they shift around a little bit, that's okay. You do not have to come up super high with this. It can be small and intense, but keep drawing the belly to spine. We have 3 more, please. Exhale up, inhale down. You got this. Last time. Pull it up, squeeze. We're gonna recenter the body. Come back, shift around if you need to. Now, legs come to tabletop, glued together. I want you to slide your feet a couple of inches away from you until you feel the low belly engage. Keep your neutral. Do not arch the spine further than neutral. And again, exhale, crunch it up. Inhale down. You always have the option to rest the head down in between repetitions if you need to. For more challenge, you'll hover. I'm hovering about 1 inch or 2 above the ground, or just kind of lightly grazing the mat. Last 2 times, keep the shoulders from the ears and the elbows nice and wide. And now we come to the other side. So take a moment, go ahead and get the legs as grounded as you can. Then square off the upper body as best you can. And then we exhale to lift up. And again, you should get this in that other side. So we start to work into those oblique muscles, our inner and outer obliques. And so we can get rid of love handles. Last 3 times, exhale, squeeze it up. Inhale, either hover or rest down. And recenter the body. Okay, last set of crunches. This time, from our tabletop, we will start to extend the legs. So if you cannot get the legs straight while keeping neutral, then please keep them parallel with a little bend in the knees. Totally okay. If you're able to stretch them out with the neutral, put a small V in the feet, and lower them down to an angle that is challenging, and then exhale, crunch it up, and inhale down. Try to keep that neutral. It is a more functional and safe way to strengthen the belly. 5 more. Squeeze those legs together. Reach them long across the room. Last 2. And draw the knees into the chest. Woo! You should be warmed up now. I'm warm. It's not just because of the fire. Okay, we're going to go into the roll-up. So we're going to take the legs out long. Reposition if you need to, so you can fill up the space on your mat. Go ahead and glue the feet together in a small V, so we have the heels together. And we're going to begin with a nice point through the legs. We'll draw the arms overhead close to the ears, but we're going to keep the rib cage nice and contained. So we're not popping and flailing, which means my arms and probably yours are not going to go all the way back to the mat. We're not doing this. We'll take the arms to the sky. Inhale, chin to chest, peel up through the belly. Drop those shoulders. Pull through that tummy like somebody's bear hugging you from behind. Reach long over the feet. And then squeeze, zip up those inner thighs, the tummy and the tush as you melt down and control it. Really make each part of the spine move independently. Inhale, chin to chest, exhale, up and over. Reach and stretch and draw it down. Control this. There's no plopping or thudding down to the mat. We also don't want sections of the spine moving as chunks. We want each bone rolling up and rolling down. Stretch and reach and melt it down. Zip up the body, melt through the spine. We have 2 more, please. Exhale. As you stretch and a full breath back down, you may always take another breath if you need it. And last time, so we're going to come up and over the legs. Just stretch and hold. Hold it, hold it. Now we're gonna stack up nice and tall. The arms can relax down, stack up through your spine, lift up, and find really, really pretty posture here. We're gonna move into the saw. So we're gonna take the legs, maybe about the width of your mat or a little bit wider. I like to take them slightly wider. And even if you have to bend the knees, I want you just to kind of rock back and forth and get your weight even on your sit bones. Again, even if the knees have to be bent, I want you to find height and length in the spine. So if having the legs straight means you have to be here, then either bend the knees or grab a blanket or a pillow or a bolster, something to prop up underneath your sit bones so you can have a nice, tall, lifted spine. We're going to take the arms and stretch them out as if you are trying to reach the walls on the side of the room. And then just stay really tall, and then slowly, I want you to start to peel the fingers up like you're making a stop sign through your hands, and see if you can find a stretch through those forearms or the wrist. Just hold it. Hold and breathe your stretch. I want you to pull the toes back towards your shins, and then relax just the toes. Hold here and breathe. Now, we'll bring the hands back into a nice neutral wrist position so the fingertips are reaching. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to twist to one side. Do not let the legs shift. And take your pinky finger and try to saw off your baby toe. Now, don't forget about this back arm. Reach it away, get a stretch through that shoulder blade area. Inhale. Each time you come to center, try to get taller and smaller through the waist. And exhale, twist and reach. The pelvis may want to move and slide as you do this, which will cause your legs to shift. Hold the tummy tight, keep the legs planted, and make all of this come right through the waistline. Again, this is going to draw into those obliques, but it's also a lovely stretch. It can be a stretch to the hamstrings. It can be a stretch to the arms. It can come up underneath the underarms. It can come into the thoracic spine. Just one more time. Please make sure you're even on each side. Exhale, stretch and reach. Inhale, grow very tall to center. And just pause there. I want you to try to make the waist tinier. And I want you to get taller up, out through the crown of the head without lifting shoulders or lifting chin. Hold and breathe. Now keep the height in the spine and relax the arms down. But keep lifting up through the spine. Weight even on the sit bones. Imprint this beautiful posture into the memory of your muscle cells. And relax and release. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into a sideline position. I'm going to come down and prop my head into my hand, but you're welcome to lay down. You can get a little pillow and bring the arms in front. Whatever's comfortable for you so your neck can be in line with your spine and relax is totally fine. So we're going to come into clam shells. And what I want you to do is take your knees and bring them closer to your chest than this parallel 90-degree angle. So you are smaller than a 90-degree angle. We're going to keep the hips stacked as if you had like a skewer coming down through them. Kind of a gross image, but you're going to keep them stacked, okay? Relax the top shoulder. And as you exhale, you're simply going to raise this knee up, and I want you to feel this in this top cheek. There should be some pressure there, but you're not allowed to roll back. That's going to compromise your form, and you're not going to get as good of a workout. So we're going to exhale to lift. We are working the external rotators here. Good. Sometimes these are really hard. They look really simple, but you should feel it. And if you're not, try tweaking your position. In time, you can also add like a resistance band, sport tubing, or a TheraBand. Good. Just nice and slow. So we are in a tub of molasses, sticky and thick, and it's slow. We have to push through the molasses on the way up, but we also have to sink down through the molasses on the way down. So super controlled and slow, nice and even. We're gonna try one more, but we're gonna hold it up. You know, I love my pulses. So we're gonna hold it up. Now you're gonna push it open, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, relax, soften down. Now, we're gonna take the knees a little bit of a larger angle than that 90 degrees, so scoot them away from you. I like to rest down for this. We're gonna take this top leg. You're going to internally rotate the hip. So my knee's heading down, my foot is up, and you're going to tap, if you can. You may not be able to reach, but you're gonna try to tap the knee down to the mat. And then with a dorsiflexed foot, you're gonna take this heel back on a diagonal and smash through the wall behind you. So you feel a lot of pressure and work here. Again, you're not allowed to do anything crazy with your torso. You're gonna keep your hips stacked. We're gonna keep the tummy controlled. We're not gonna arch the spine or flail anything. So we touch it down with the inhale, exhale, press and reach. And this is one of those exercises where you can help determine how much work it is. As you press and squeeze and hesitate, you can feel that nice contraction through the tush, and press and reach and just smash through the wall behind you. You can also do this with kind of a lazy leg and not get a lot out of it, but we want to make the most of our time and our workouts. So go ahead and make yourself feel it. Really put that extra little spice in there so you can get that contraction. We've got one more. Press it back and squeeze and relax. Press yourself up. We're gonna bring the legs out and just shake them out, just release them, loosey-goosey, and then we're gonna set up for clam shells on the second side. So again, I prefer to prop up, but whatever's comfortable for you is fine, as long as your neck is in a good position. We're gonna be in a nice little tight angle here, like you're curling up in a ball, and then you're gonna exhale to lift the top knee, but we keep the hips stacked. So we're working right up here into our rotators. Inhale to relax. Tummy can stay pulled in to support you here. And again, we're back in our molasses. We're moving slowly and with intention both directions. Exhale it up. Inhale down. So we have 4 more. Press it open and release. Should be warming up on that side now. Good. Last 2. Exhale. And then we're going to press up and pulse. So we hold it open and we squeeze. And 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last 2. And relax. So we're going to make our angle a little bit bigger. I prefer to stretch out for this. We're going to tap the knee down and then press that heel up and back, staying nice and tight through the belly. So you're taut through here. You're not bowing forward like a hammock. We're not arching the spine. And that heel is smashing. For me, it looks like it's going into the fire. But you're going to press the wall behind you and squeeze. 6 more times, please. Press and reach. Good. That's it. And we have 3 more. Press, make it count. And last time, push it, come in, help yourself up, shake out the legs once more. We're gonna come onto our hands and knees and go into cat-cow and stretch out the spine. So we'll stack the shoulders over the wrist. I want you to please spread your fingers nice and wide and let the middle finger be heading straight forward. We've got the hips over the knees. As you breathe in, you're gonna start to drop the belly towards the floor, arch the spine, look up in front and let the sit bones rise, and just pause here. And I said drop the belly to the floor. You're really moving it with intention. You're still drawing the navel up to spine. And then we're gonna exhale, press into the hands evenly. Press through every part of the hand, all of the fingers, round the back, let the head hang. Really press and get that nice curve through the mid-back. Relax the face. And then we're gonna flow with the breath a few times. So inhale, looking up, let the sit bones rise, make it feel really nice in your body. Exhale, press and round. So just like we started class by rolling that invisible marble, take this as far as you can without causing pain. We wanna maintain good form. We wanna keep the belly tight to support the back. Let's try one more breath. Inhaling to look up. Exhale, round it out. And then we're gonna find more of a tabletop position. So we're gonna stay with the shoulders stacked over the wrist, hips over the knees, and I want a little bit of softness in your elbows, so the hollows of the elbows face one another. Let's take one foot behind you. Press, curl the toes and press to the ball of the foot and reach back through the heel, so you start to feel a little bit of a stretch through the calf. And then we're gonna lift the leg, but I don't want your foot to do the lifting. I want your muscles closer to your core. So your tush and your thigh will lift that leg no higher than hip height. It doesn't have to be that high, but let's keep the pelvis nice and square. And then you're gonna, if you're able to and you feel balanced, you're gonna walk the opposite hand out. And then I want you to lift it, again from the muscles close to your core, with the thumb pointing up. So it's like you're shaking somebody's hand, which we're not doing much of that these days with the global pandemic, but that's the shape you're taking. Shaking somebody's hand, reaching through the fingers, pressing through the heel behind you. Hold and breathe, find a balance, draw the tummy up and in, and keep the supporting arms soft. Soft elbow. Release out of this and round out the back. Breathe. And then we're going to do the other side. So take the opposite foot behind you, press through that heel. So get a good press. Find a stretch here. Enjoy the stretch. Should feel nice. If you choose to, you can lift the leg. Make sure you're lifting from your back side, tummy tight, hips squared off, and then adding the opposite arm if you're able to. So that shoulder blade is pulling down the back like it's going into your back pocket. Thumb is pointing up. You're reaching through fingertips and through the heel. Hold and breathe. Neck is in line with the spine. And lower down, round it out. One more time, inhale, look up in front, let the sit bones rise. Draw the big toes together. We're gonna sit back onto the heels and come down into a child's pose, or some people call this a shell stretch. Let the forehead rest down into the mat. Creep those fingers away from you. Really reach the arms long. And just settle in here. Let the breath start to settle. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose or mouth. Go ahead and close the eyes. And just rest for a moment. And let the tummy relax. Take a moment to appreciate the hard work that your body just did for you. You did a wonderful thing for yourself by showing up and working out today. And it's great to take a moment just to honor that and show gratitude for all that you were able to do, with goals and looking forward to things that perhaps were more challenging that will get easier in the future. With the tummy tight, we're gonna round up until you're sitting on your heels. And we are finished. You did it. Great job. If you enjoyed this workout, and if you'd like to work out with me again, please like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next workout. Thanks.